friends who give me the hope for tomorrow.
I attract friends.
I am the friend who gives hope for tomorrow.
I am the friend who gives hope for tomorrow.
I am light.
I am light.
I am love.
I am love.
I am one with the universe.
One with the universe.
I am one with myself.
I am one with myself.
I heal from my past mistakes.
I heal from my past
and
mistakes.
I let go of all that was.
And I let go
to make space for all that is to be.
For all that is to be.
I am love.
My God.
Now.
My God. I was watching number 21, Smoke and Eat Breakfast. Why did I put it on like that? Hey. Another video. Oh my God. What is actually going on? So I'm not actually doing this in order. It's because I was squeezing out like Vaseline. It's not Vaseline. It's my Vaseline. Okay. You know when you gotta squeeze it out the tube like toothpaste, but when I'm in the sun and I moisturize, it just helps the tan so much better. It's like my skin starts melting or something. But I actually sweat, so that could be a factor as well. But I'm just saying in the summer it helps. Yeah. I just listen to myself to give myself affirmations because, and I didn't even know that I did that. Like I watch my own videos back. I don't know how people don't do it, but I think that's different. You know what I mean? I was just trying to fix my headband. Yeah, in doing that, I just realized what the video is going to be called. Protecting your crown chakra. I have loads of notes about the crown chakra, but I'm just gonna do what I did before when we quickly have a look at some things, but I'm gonna give this crazy story time. So I did shrooms for the first time in July. First of all, before we just get into anything, I'm starting to realize I actually don't care. Like if you care about how people perceive you, you're never gonna get anything done. Never. Like I'm realizing how much my mom and dad were like ingrained into my subconscious that I just can't go anywhere, I can't do anything, and I'm like, hold the front door. I am way too beautiful, way too cool for that. I just smoked and like watched myself. So like I was smoking and watching and eating breakfast, watching myself smoking and eating breakfast, but before that I was like, oh God, like just talk to me. Like I'm not, I know you see me, I know I'm protected by spirit, but I just needed to know. Like it just felt like you know, like it was just one of those days. And then, but I knew it was a perception thing. But I'm handling these things so much better because, you know, like this time last year, you know, I would kind of just complain and I fully believed like God didn't speak to me. But now I realize that this is the point. He wants me to tell him, like, can you talk to me? Because I believed for so long that there is no, like, the universe does not speak to me, and even if I'm protected, they're kind of just keeping me here for the fun. Like I genuinely thought that everybody was taking the piss out of me. Like I thought I was just here for a game. Like I was waiting for the like somebody to like just press game over, but like, you know, and I was gonna do it myself if you know what I mean. But it's so, do you know how it feels to laugh about that? Like to go from suicidal thoughts to making a video about protecting your crown chakra. Like, yeah, all I have to say is I'm protected. And I'm gonna be honest, in terms of chakras, my solar plexus was definitely blocked for a good 2 weeks, and it took me so long to understand that, because I did get delivered from religion, but it was only last year. It's gonna be a year now in July 2024. I'm recording this in June 2023, and then this is gonna align in your timeline so perfectly, because you know I believe in quantum jumping. My window's open, by the way. I wanted to show you guys just what we're seeing right now, and the sun is right there, and yeah, life is good. I was missing all the good things. Anyway, so long story short is, before I played the video, I was like, what's going on, yeah? And then I just looked at my scarf in, you know, like that was a sign to put it on. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it on. And I put it on and I just felt so clear. And I was like, oh, it's because I wasn't protecting my crown chakra. And then I used to cover my hair a lot, and then after a point I just stopped. I don't know why, I just stopped. I mean I love my hair, but like I love protecting myself more than showing my hair, do you know what I mean? I don't know why I stopped. So the person that I was smoking with, I was also receiving his subconscious thoughts, because you know he's not in a good place in his life either. Like the point is that even though God was speaking to me, and like I'm very aware that there's like a certain vibe to me, it still felt like the whole world was crashing. Like it's one thing to observe that this person is beautiful, and then to be the beautiful person and not see that is like, wow, we've got some things to sort out, but we're sorting out the things. Anyway, I stopped smoking with him. I felt great. I know that people that watch my videos, not all of them smoke, and I love that, because I want to just put like people who smoke in a different light, you know. I've kind of lived my life on everything that I've heard, everything that I've been told, everything that I've seen, and you know the real world is when you close your eyes. But it's like, how long am I just gonna let people decide what I do with my life? Like how long, like even if my mom finds my YouTube channel, like even if, right, because you gotta let go of these fears, you know what I mean? Like let's say she's like, how dare you do that, and she goes off on me, like even then it's still about my response. You kind of have to imagine the worst case scenario and like let it die. And there's a lot of like buzz, you can hear cars and honks and children walking by, and I just thought I had to dim out that sound. I thought that, like, I don't know, I just there's so many things that I thought, is my point. And I had suicidal thoughts up until my first room experience, which was on the 31st of July. So good, I had to get a tattoo of it. Oh, you can't see that, but there's a tattoo that says 31 over there. And then I got baptized on October 22nd, 2023. And I did shrooms the day before that. Haven't had them since. And I know that shrooms already bring out what's within. So if I'm very adamant on change, like the shrooms are gonna present that change to me, and I leap and I do it, because you know shrooms don't give you more than you can handle. Everything is a message. So there was one time I microdosed and I didn't feel anything. It was very tiny, but I didn't feel anything, and I was very sleepy, and I went to sleep, and I realized that if I'm not giving myself rest sober, the shrooms are gonna tell me to fucking rest. They're like, listen, what are you looking for, sir? You know, what are you looking for, girl? You need a couple more hours. Try again next time. Then there was, but that was the one time that happened. All the other times I've microdosed, whether it be at 3 a.m. by this window, stargazing. The last time I microdosed with my friend, and we painted, and it was just, it's just, and now, because I didn't know until now that there's a 2-week rewiring, but that can last for months. But it's normally a 2-week window of whatever you do afterwards is important. So for him, obviously he went back to work, and since then we haven't really seen each other as much because he's been working quite a bit. But when I saw him, he said to me that this is my friend Dejan, by the way, right? He's an amazing chef, and we've been friends since maybe 15, which is amazing. We're 20 now. I know. You're 20? And he basically said, like, you know, he forgot how he had a lack of creativity in his life. He was like, man, I haven't made beats in a long time. I haven't just painted because for the sake of it. And when there's a number 25, I think, was when I microdosed on shrooms. And I was like, how is painting not a thing you do regularly? Like, you see somebody else's painting and you're like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, why are you wishing to paint what they paint? Why don't you pick up the paintbrush and see what you do? Like, that's my problem. I keep thinking that this is an art. Like, just looking at having that background, like, I was like, man, like, I'm so adamant on, like, being this project that needs to be fixed. And I was like, oh my god, like, I haven't been protecting up here. That's why the thoughts were going a bit circular. Like, I didn't think I was gonna die or anything. But when I'm with my friend, the point is, I know that I can't change people, but it's also like I'm looking at a reflection of myself. So I know that just being around them is all that you need. I feel like that's all the universe could do for me when I was going through it. Even though my friends were always changing because I always got attached, there was always one there. I'm very much like a two. I like being with one other person. 3 is good as well. I like 3 too. I like 4. 5 now you might be stretching it, but that's I'm going off of experience. Like, if the universe wants to give me a group of 30, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm all for, like, the big families. I'm just adamant about creating that shit on my own and not blending into one. But I'm saying that could just be an experience thing. And I'm like, are you telling me there's no good huge family or a big group of friends that all love each other, you know, they travel together? So, you know, I had to give that backstory just because I'm a lot more real, and it's not really that I have tips for people. I really just want to be a life coach, and I have to stop saying what I want to be and just be. And the crown chakra, it was so interesting. My friend came over and he was touching my head, and we were watching Black Mirror Hang the DJ, favorite Black Mirror episode. That's still my favorite show. And he was I know he was just like rubbing my head, but it felt like he was like, we were smoking and just like eating and watching, and it felt like he was digging at my head. And I had to tell that nigga. But it was crazy though. I thought, like, I don't know why I don't. If that happened to me a year ago, I would have turned up to get out the house. Do you know what I mean? Like, but because I was always looking for a reason to just get the man out. Like, but now I'm learning that, like, men are so beautiful. But this, I don't know what. I like to perceive. There are some things you will never catch sober, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, sobriety isn't validated by mind-altering experiences, because what if somebody has the, like, same mind as somebody who has microdosed, like, all their life, but this one's been sober his whole life, but they still have the same mind, even though one isn't. Like, I just don't think it's that simple to call sobriety not drinking or smoking or doing, like, drugs or anything. Like, the English language doesn't even make sense. It's not called drugs, and we all don't like weed because we don't like weeds in our garden. But who called it that? Like, how do you go from like the old Arabic, how do you go from that to the English that we have today? Like, I always think about, we went from hieroglyphics to English, Celtic, all these like ancient languages, so-called ancient. We just need to connect the neurons to speak it. Like, this shit isn't ancient, it doesn't die. It's the fact that we've labeled it as that, so we don't bother thinking of going that far back. Realistically, we can all go back. I think that's why people, when they microdose, I haven't done a heroic dose though. I definitely will be. Oh yes, oh yes. I was never really afraid of shrooms. I just kind of watched loads of like shroom experiences before I did them. Oh shit, and I'm doing that now, so that's already a sign that I'm gonna be doing shrooms soon. Sometimes you have to look back and see the patterns, but this has been the first year that I can actually remember what I was kind of doing last year. Before that, I would have complete amnesia of my life. Like, I don't really remember my childhood too tough, but anyway. Now, I need to stop. I was gonna say, oh my god, I'm going off topic. Like, I'm really not. This chakra is all about spiritual connection and transformation. It lifts and inspires you, connecting you to the divine. You might call this angelic energy, the source, or God. This chakra also gives you a sense of your own divinity, the awareness that you are a soul in a human body. Yeah, so that's pretty much why my mind was going crazy. And if these wheels of energy become blocked by stress, anxiety, or emotional upheaval, your well-being can suffer. Yeah, I just wasn't protecting my crown. Wow, that's crazy. Had some unbalanced chakras going on. But my point is that there are some decisions that you, like, if you cover your head, even just as you go to sleep, with anything, even a shower cap, you know, you can laugh about it, but I've done it. And in those months that I had my hair covered, yeah, shit was making sense. Shit was making sense. Now obviously it's a perception thing, because it should have gone to a point where I don't have to cover it. But you know, smoking with people is a very spiritual practice, and I was failing to understand that some things were repeating twice, and because I just wasn't catching. And then I kind of realized, like, okay, right, like my eyes just went to my scarf. I didn't even plan to. I don't even think I would have put it on. I don't know why I stopped. I'm waiting for that. But even as I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like, why did I stop? I'm trying to think if there was a reason. Like maybe, oh, I was at the lake this one time, and it rained, and I took my scarf off to let the rain get on my hair. Oh yeah, the last time I covered my hair was in number 11, Smoke and Talk. Oh, thank you, universe. And I let it undo because it was raining and I wanted my hair to be soaked, washed, and I just never put it back on since that day. That's crazy, because now it's making too much sense. Like, especially when my mom comes home, I need to keep it on. But when the crown chakra is open, we feel connected to something greater than ourselves and experience a sense of cosmic consciousness. We can also become more selfless and compassionate as we connect with our higher purpose. However, when the crown chakra is in balance, we may feel disconnected from our spirituality. Imagine that. Imagine like everything just crashing and the only thing you need to do is cover your hair. All you need to do is put something on your head, even a hat for the men that don't have like they don't cover their heads or anything. Like, just put something on your head, put a t-shirt and tie it. Like, do something, just do it for a day. And especially if you smoke, right, and you smoke around people, just try it one time. The next time you smoke with somebody, just cover your head. You will hear so much more. Oh my god, I don't know why I stopped. I remember even I was oh yeah, oh look at me. I was trying an experiment. I wanted to see if there was any significance with cutting my hair, with covering my hair and like not. And I just realized, yeah, there's clearly a difference. Yeah. Yeah. It's the highest of the 7 chakras, like, oh my god. Oh my god. You know, that went on for a bit too long though. Like, why am I not remembering that I did that? That went on for a bit too long. Like, that experiment should have lasted at least a day, 3 if I wanted to be. But like, in a world where there's so many different frequencies and all that, like, you can't be doing that. And even when I would go to the lake, if I didn't have I would normally take my scarf off when I'm in nature, and then when I'm back, like walking home near like flats and stuff, houses and all that, like when I'm back in the buzz of the city, I cover my hair again. Wow, that experiment, maybe that was the point though, innit? That's the universe. I asked to see if there was a difference. I just showed you. I didn't even plan doing this, like, but now I'm like, oh wow, there's definitely a difference. Yo, I was stressing, and I hanged up. I have a different side of my wall over here, just for context. You can't see it from my TV, but I hope you can see nothing in the reflection. Woo! 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 Anyway, I'll see when I'm editing. I am a big fan, big supporter of asking questions, especially when I grew up and nobody answered my fucking questions. So I put a list of questions up on my wall, and I was like, has all of creation been trying to tell me I'm not the problem? Because this entire time I thought, what am I doing wrong, bro? I blocked people. I was literally like, I was itching. I said, what the fuck? But the experiment was just that. The power in protecting your crown chakra. Yeah. And I said, how do I maintain not caring how I'm perceived? Like, for me personally, I suddenly cared so much more about how I was perceived. And I even was asking today, like, when did it go wrong? Like, what the fuck happened? But I know it's not about wrong. It was just, when did my mind change? Especially when I have to definitely talk about my shroom experiences. I've had all of the, like, I'm not even being funny, I'm just being real. All of the shroom trips that I've watched on YouTube, nobody's had a trip like mine. And that's obviously because we're not all gonna have the same trip. We're all very individual people. But I meant, like, the trip that I had, the people that I've had the most intense trips, they don't share them. I think that's what it is. And I want to create a community, or just become the version of me who already has that community of people who do shrooms, or people who would have, or are thinking about shrooms and wouldn't do them, people who smoke, people who don't. They just need to see somebody in a new light. You know, when you just want to be that person, when somebody's like, I never knew I needed a person like you, but I needed it. And like, this is, and you know, people think I'm just creating for you, like I'm creating for myself. I was literally just watching myself because I needed a sign from myself, like, and I had to just get used to seeing myself. You know, I was kind of like, you know, when you send a text message and you run, that's kind of what I was doing with myself. And I was like, why am I running from myself? So I think today is gonna be a better day. We're gonna go through, you know, the power of all the chakras together, to be honest, but the crown chakra is the one it's the one where there's so much going on in here and we can't see it. But it's a beautiful thing that so much can happen behind the scenes, and the physical realm is, you know, the baby realm. It's where it's birthed. But it was just, I think if I saw spiritually what was going on, like something would have gotten left. And that also explains the dream that I was having about that friend that I was smoking with and my mother in the living room, and there were just mice constantly coming towards us, and they was too chill about it. I was like, I wasn't scared, but I was like, I moved. I was like, whoa. And then, there was these, they were really tiny, and the tail, ooh, and then like he just picked them up, and I think he chucked them in this room. He picked up a few and then chucked them, and then some came up behind him, and they just kept coming. Long story short is protect your crown chakra. But obviously I know a lot of people say like mice means betrayal and stuff like that. I'm just gonna have to accept that I'm going through all of these things to mold me into such a beautiful person. To, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and I'm like, pain has a purpose, but pain hurts more when it's pointless. So like, I just thought this was pointless, but it's just because I wasn't seeing properly because I was in pain. So makes sense. If you're ever in pain, cover your crown chakra. Just give it a try the next time you smoke, especially if you smoke, or the next time you do shrooms. Because even when I microdosed with my friend, my hair was covered. Not all the time, not even the first time. The first time though, the day before that, I dyed my hair, and I kind of just was like, universe, do what you want with my hair. I was like, you know, because I wanted locks since I was a child, because I always had dreams of me with locks. Still do, except my locks are way longer now. Or maybe they were always long and I've only just perceived that because I now have locks at a certain length. But when I didn't have locks, it just looked like locks to me, and I was always fascinated by them. Like, even guys who like treated me so wrong back in the day, like, bro, if they had locks, I have standards now, guys. But my point is, maybe like my next partner has locks. I'm thinking that's what it is, because, or just, you know, the one that I'm meant to like fit with, the one I can do shrooms with, the one I can smoke with and do videos with. And I just kind of have to believe in myself and know that the universe has got me. And now that I've protected my crown chakra, I can go back to like, I'm gonna go back down, starting at the root, and try and see what's going on in these places. I need to really touch my heart chakra, but I feel like my throat is good, but for the past couple of days I don't think I was using it in the best way. I was kind of just like spiraling a bit, but my perception of spiraling is very different to what it was before. Like before, I was writing, I was reading, and then I caught myself kind of just sitting there doing nothing. But I always loved sitting there doing nothing. But it was the first time that I was kind of like, oh my god, like, what am I doing? Am I going anywhere? But like, how can I still look at my life and not think I'm going somewhere? I had to realize those thoughts were not me, you know. And I live in a flat, so it's like, bro, there's that's somebody's room over there, somebody's room down here, and somebody's room's up there. So like, how can you think that that's you? And anyway, I kind of just feel better, like, and it also showed that I still had a bit of pride if I think it's just all me. But a person with a blocked crown chakra may experience unwillingness to be open to other ideas, thoughts, or knowledge. Psychosis, dissociation from your body, and feeling ungrounded are common signs that your head chakra is blocked. I do think that's where overthinking comes from as well. I love how they said what foods are good for the crown chakra. Mushrooms. Oh my. But I think my third eye is just opening, and it's not how I kind of perceived it to open. I thought if I open it, you know, breakthrough, straight prosperity, but it's also like I have to believe I'm already in prosperity. And you know, that heightened intuition that you get, that awareness of energies, you're like, damn, like people are actually like, you can feel the trauma on their skin and in the way that they hug. And like, it's crazy how even with all of my baggage, people still told me they like being around me. Like, that's when I realized, like, I think there's somebody else keeping me alive. Because what? I've literally been purging my subconscious, but it's been so mad to tell myself in the mirror, like, I love myself. And like, before I would not force myself to make videos, but I would have to give myself a pep talk beforehand. Now it feels more natural. But I've been taking videos since I was a child. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, I started photography when I was like 7, but my mom took my camera. Well, it wasn't mine, but you know, I was young, okay, and I just lost my love for photography. I used to pretend to film YouTube videos, lost my love for that. I just became a shell of myself, to be honest, because I was always rejected by my mother. But you know, if I was covering my head from time, I would have caught that a lot sooner. I'm just happy to have realized that people really do have an effect on me, especially because I feel so much. And then sometimes you feel something in your body and you try to ignore it because, you know, that person's saying an opposite thing, but like, my body does not trust you. My body does not trust you. Like she telling me it's time to go. I'm like, no, I'm in conversation. Like, now you wonder why, like, it's awkward for you to like think about even the word masturbation makes you itch because you're not comfortable with yourself. Like, but that's a conversation for another day. I think that we are the only ones who can truly experience pleasure, and if we throw that away, you know, sorry, but pleasure is included in my kind of love. Like, I've just changed so much in terms of perspective. I have so many videos to post. I just feel really confident, and I don't care anymore. If I care about how I'm going to be perceived, like, I'm actually not going to get anywhere. And I just need to open the doors. Like, I want to microdose again, and I want to record it. And I have a lot of videos to make, but I've kind of been like, no, when I get weed, I'll do some like smoking talks, or I'll record then. But like, it's like, you kind of have to give what you get. Whether you have it or not, you're fucking cool. But it was just, for me, I felt more comfortable. But I've been recording way long before. I was making videos like for 10 years. I started smoking when I was like, my first, you know, puff of a joint was like 16, 15. But I didn't start smoking properly until I was like 17, 18. 19 was when like the universe just took me on like a cleanse on moderation. And then I smoked like the complete, like after I did shrooms, I used to smoke bigger ones. In the videos that I post in the coming weeks, you'll see it. But now I smoke like the complete half size. But I think it's a consciousness thing, it's a perspective thing, and it's a frequency thing. I think the lower you are in vibration, the more that you think you need. But the higher that you are, the less that you need. Or even if I smoked loads now, I think I would actually have a shroom trip. If I smoked like 2 J's, I would be borderline on shrooms. Like that's the level of like awareness that it's come to. So sometimes I would smoke that much, but I'm with the wrong person, and now they're scratching my head, and it just felt horrible. Like, and I think he was really like, oh, like it was a bit awkward after that. And we're watching Hang the DJ. Hang the DJ is about them two breaking out of the matrix, basically. It's such a beautiful episode, and I realized that he don't make me feel like that. He don't want me. He made me want to leave my own house, like. But it wasn't him. It was that I was putting him to a certain standard, and we've never really aligned. And like, he's always been single, and then I'm in a relationship, or I'm in a relationship and he's single. But this was the time that we were both single. I gave it a shot, and it wasn't for me. I know that there is a man out there, or a woman, but I know there is somebody out there who is like just as intuitive as I am. Like, they are so funny and yet so deep at the same time. Like, they want to be intimate on shrooms. They want to backpack Thailand, you know. Like, and I'm not thinking of these things for no reason. It's because a version of me is already doing this. It's just about, like, as I was watching my video, it was like, you know, your hometown is kind of like a hurdle. You can stay there. It's comfortable. You know, people there, you know, you work there, you live there, it's comfortable. Or you can say, maybe there's people in this sea of 8 billion outside of the place that I know that are just waiting to know somebody like me. And even in London, like, London is the best place to live right now, and I completely missed that fact because of how I was feeling about my mother, and just, but I was like, no, I'm not going to let that brush over the fact that I live in London. And so many people think I live in LA. Interesting. You know, I'm taking everything. I'm literally like, yeah. I know this beautiful woman in Amsterdam. After I told you guys that I really want to go to Amsterdam, I know like 3-4 people there now. Yeah. So life is actually, like, the universe is on my side, but I am going through that just purging of nobody talks to me, or nobody's gonna listen, and I'm alone. But I'm learning not to hate that version of me. She just needed a hug. She just needed this kind of video. And if I can make videos for the version of me who again needs this, and the reflections of me, the people who can see this, if the universe sees the authenticity and is like, no, we can use her videos to encourage a couple people, like, we can align them two together, they're on the same frequency now. Like, it's all practice for when this background is the Himalayas, or Hawaii, or India, or the Great Wall of China, something. You know, I want to know people in every country. I've got all the nations of the world written over there. My eyes went to Tibet, Thailand, Tibet, and Tanzania. So we'll see what that means in the future. Yeah, I'm just really fulfilled. Please protect your heart chakra. I'm trying to think of what do YouTubers say? Subscribe. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, let's be friends, all of that. If you need, you know, if you're starting a YouTube channel, let me know so I can subscribe. You know, I need humanity to move forward, so, you know, y'all, I'm trying to push y'all to post too, you know. Two-way street, how can you know me and I don't know you, huh? But I have to go first. I'm a leader who raises leaders, and that's just how it is. And I go by my spiritual name, Divine, because it just fits like a glove. And even though my mum said no to naming me that, it's beautiful to do shrooms and realize that was always my name. The name that she gave me was Kim. Still, I love Kim though, because if I hate that version, those versions of me who still exist in other universes, like, but in this one I choose to quantum jump to whatever Divine is doing, and it seems that she's making YouTube videos, so, or she's a YouTuber, and I just think I'm making YouTube videos. But I call them letters now because I write a lot of poetry, which probably says that she's a poet as well. Damn, right? So I like to call them letters, but obviously I already said videos, innit? Habit. Also seems that she smokes weed, so like I'm doing like the smoke and eat. But yeah, it's very interesting to record myself. I'm getting used to it, that I'm a fucking cool person, and all of our lives deserve to be documented. We are the life givers, and don't hide who you are for anybody, because nobody has lived your experience. Nobody can feel the way you do. Nobody can really know you the way you do. And if you feel like something in your life has got to shift, it's because in another reality already has. The other versions of you are just trying to help you do that. So trust that you are protected, and you didn't see this video for no reason. A letter to you about protecting your crown chakra. So yeah, that's the video, y'all. That's it. That's the letter. Yeah. Because obviously when I was reincarnated in, you know, a few lives behind me, I was writing letters, but now we're in the technology. Not to say there wasn't technology then. We kind of have the worst technology, if we're being honest. But that's what I'm coming to change. Anyways, this is the Divine Reframe. I hope I gave you guys some joy. And I think your takeaway from this should be life is worth living. The next time you feel like it's not, just watch this video. Yeah. Bye, y'all.